Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Hardcore Challenge Live. I am Ben Klein, commish of the Hardcore Challenge. Tonight, we are having an extra special edition, kicking off our upcoming 2016 season, as well as filling you in on the growth of the Hardcore Challenge for the upcoming seasons. Things are going to change. Next season, big changes are coming to the landscape of the Hardcore Challenge. I want to give out call-in number. In case anybody wants to call in, give that out. I came into this off-season looking at our 10-year anniversary season on the horizon and knowing we needed to evolve the league. And I was stuck with the quandary of how to evolve a league that I feel has evolved so much already. So I had certain things I want to accomplish in the evolution process. I want to add more owners without diluting the number of NFL players our owners had to work with to build their rosters, which has been a problem since we stepped up to the 20 teams. It was our biggest concern, but I feel we've overcome it by adding defensive roster positions, adding bonus points, adding many different ways to score, and we overcame that, and I think our league is stronger now because of the size of it. I wanted to raise the level of competition without taking away from what we have tried so hard to build. One of the other things I wanted to make sure we did was I wanted to raise the prize money without requiring more of a buy-in and making the league unaffordable and making it unappealing for any of our current owners. Never want to drive anyone away because it costs too much to play, because that's just ridiculous. I mean, we all want to pay enough that it doesn't affect us, doesn't hurt our pocketbook, but that there's big enough carrot at the end that when you win, the pool is big enough that you feel like you won something. You know, besides the trophy and the ring and just being the champ, you want some green, you want some money. So, you know, it's a fine line to walk between too much of a buy-in and not enough of a prize pool. So that's always been another one of my concerns. And lastly, I mean, I wanted to make it more fun for myself as well as all of our owners. Like I think J-Dub mentioned when I had him on for the interview, was, you know, it's kind of like a marriage. You gotta mix it up a little bit every once in a while to keep it exciting, keep everyone to come back and play. You know, making it as exciting, as close to the owning your own NFL franchise as we can make it. It's always been our goal. You know, I think that what we're about to do has accomplished every one of my goals that I wanted to achieve in the evolution process of what we're going to implement next year. I've put a lot of thought into this. It's not 100% done. It'll be a work in progress until next season, but I believe I have laid the groundwork for what we're going to do. So, without further ado, here's what the changing of the landscape will look like in the Hardcore Challenge in 2017. The Hardcore Challenge began, as you all know, in 2009 as a hybrid league developed and merged from two former fantasy football leagues. In 2010, the league grew from 12 owners to 20 owners, and in our next season, the 2017 season, we will make our biggest move ever to 32 owners. The new format will completely mirror the NFL format. We will have two 16-team conferences, the AFC and the NFC, that will play a 16-team, 4-division format, just like the NFL. The schedule will play just like the NFL, with every owner playing all division teams, rivals, twice. The playoff spots will remain the same. You will have 4 division champions, 2 wild cards per conference. In order to adjust for this format, the league's schedule will adjust as well. The regular season will now be 13 weeks long. with the conference playoffs occurring starting in Week 14, with the wild card round, Week 15, with the semifinal round, and Week 16 with the conference championships. The two conference champions from the AFC and the NFC will then face off in a Week 17 Super Bowl that will be streamed live. We will cover it from start to finish and track the whole thing live. So our Super Bowl will be streamed live. What this will allow is when you have won your conference and you are the conference champion and have won out of the 16 teams, what you will then do is you will be allowed to choose from all available players on your roster as well as all available waiver players that are not on anybody's roster in your conference. Your conference will be separate. They will be like two separate leagues. There's no interconference play. You will play division rivals and out-of-division rivals inside your conferences. NFC champions play AFC champions in a Week 17 battle. You guys, once you get to the Super Bowl, will have full gamut on both of your sides in order to game plan and however you can in the ultimate matchup of fantasy football starting in 2017. Now, even more, there's a lot more, because there's a lot involved in having to do this move and make this move. So to start, the biggest thing, which all of you need to know coming into this draft, which is why I'm doing this show right now, because this is going to change how you guys plan for everything and how you prepare for the draft, is what I'm about to tell you. To start all league owners off on an even playing field due to the restructure, there will be no keepers at the end of this season. None. Because all new owners, the 12 owners that we are starting with next season, and you're going to be, some teams are switching conferences, we are realigning everything, everybody's starting from a clean slate. Everybody. So that affects how you draft this year. Because if you think you were going to draft your quarterback this year that may be your future, maybe not. You want to hold that to next year. That also affects if you want to do any draft pick trades this year, because now first round picks are worth a hell of a lot more, because in next year's draft, a first round pick that you may have traded away this season, that thing's going to be worth gold next season, because now you're talking cream of the crop when you're picking next season. So when we go to 32 teams and everybody has the opportunity to start a whole new draft, now you have the opportunity, all of you owners that have started with crap that other guys have left over, that you have come in and taken over teams, all of you owners now get the opportunity to set yourself up knowing a year in advance that next year you get to reboot your whole team and you get to choose the players that are going to carry you on to the 10th anniversary season. What will determine draft order next year? How you finish this year will determine draft order next year. That's how it will determine draft order next year. We are going to do it completely opposite. You will not be rewarded next year with finishing last and you get the number one pick. You win the championship, you get a pick first next year. That's how we're going to determine the draft order. And it'll work opposite of that. You will not be rewarded and get to reboot your team with the number one overall pick in the draft and get the best player in the league. That's not going to happen. I thought about that too. So good question, Brad. Good question. What else? We will pick right back up with the keepers. 2017, you will be drafting. Your keepers will be the same at the end of that year. You'll have 4 offensive keepers and your 1 defensive keeper. These spots and the new teams. The new teams, that's a fair question. We're gonna have to think about that one and how we want to implement in the new teams and how we want to set up the draft. That probably will be the first question with our new VP. One of the questions we'll have to figure out. We'll have to put that on the list of problems, because I can see how we would order the players that are teams that are in there now, but if we're adding 12 teams, how do we seed them? It's not fair to seed them after the others. So we may have to do some sort of a lottery and draft for picks. I think that probably seems like the most logical thing, because we want it to be fair. I want the reboot to be fair for all 32 owners to start off on the same foot. So maybe we will have to do a draft lottery. We can do a live draft lottery show. There we go. We do a live draft lottery show, and problem solved. There we go, brainstorming session. One other thing, the buy-in is not going to change. It will be $50 per owner. Same as nothing's going to change. Trade fees are the same. Buy-in's the same. The only thing now is if you win either conference, it's going to be $1,000 for the winner of the league overall, and it's going to be $500 as to the second place. So it'll be $1,000 for the winner, $500 to the second place. So, you know, even if you win the 16 team, your conference, you're still going to win the same amount of money as you would have won in the league prior. League champion will also still get the NFL.com custom league championship ring. You'll also get yearly ownership of the Hardcore Cup. And as you know, each owner gets to leave his mark on the Super Bowl, on the Cup after winning the Super Bowl before their reigns ended. No, Tom, I don't want to keep this league as is. This league needs to grow. You'll see the format. I'm going to post it. I've got the flyer put together for everything, and I'm going to post it as soon as this is over. So everybody can take a look at it, give me your feedback. But this is how we're moving forward into next season. I'm splitting up two. The divisions are going down to 4. A lot of the divisions are basically staying intact. The Great White North, as is now, is going to stay in the AFC, although one member is moving to the NFC to start the Great White North over there. The entire Elite East is moving into the NFC, with Willie starting up the NFC's new Dirty South. The Wild West is staying intact in the AFC, with Joey moving to the Great White North, the Road Ragers. The Dirty South is staying intact, minus Travis, who never geographically really fit in the Dirty South, moving to where he belongs to be the first team in the new Wild West division in the NFC. Like I said, I will post all of this as soon as I am off here shortly, within like a minute. I've already got it queued up, ready to go. So, yes, same amount of keepers next year then. No, there are some that I have recruited for spots for, but none have been given. When I post this thing later, you will see I have left blank spots. I've already started, basically put a lot of thought into how I wanted to shuffle up the teams and divide the power. We've got 3 former champions in the NFC, 3 former champions in the AFC. I've looked at the power, the winning percentages of the teams, playoff records, who's made it, who hasn't. I tried to split them up evenly. So you'll see what spots are open, and they're going to go on a first come, first served basis. If you have people you know that would like to join the league for next season, I mean, obviously it's a little premature to get in, but if they want to lock down a spot, as soon as somebody's wants one, we'll lock them down. And you know, if they back out later, we'll backfill the spot. It's not that big of a deal. 32 teams and not much left. What you're not understanding, Corey, is the 32 teams are in 2 divisions. You're playing is basically 2 leagues. You have the NFC and the AFC. So there's actually only 16 teams. So actually the pool is now better than it was, because you're playing with a pool right now of 20 owners, which means instead you'll be playing with a pool of 16 owners. Yes, 2 separate drafts. probably be on the same night because, nobody's going to be in both drafts. So, that's pretty much it. I went a little long. Been on for 16 minutes now. But there was a lot of info I wanted to get out there. VP race, we have a leader. We have one of the two guys that were tied yesterday has moved ahead. I believe there's only 3 owners out there left to cast a vote. So if you're one of those 3, cast your vote. It's very valuable right now. It's going to come down to probably 1 vote. Let's see. That's about it, I guess. Go cast your vote for VP. We closed the books on the tiebreaker rule. Looks like that was a unanimous vote for head-to-head, so we're going to switch that up. And I guess that's about it. Remember, guys, August 28th, this Sunday, is your keeper lock date. One of you guys still has no defensive keepers. A couple of you haven't filled your keepers. That locks Sunday. That's also when your buy-ins are due. It's also when the VP election closes. So if you're one of them last 3 and want to wait till the absolute last minute, I guess, to cast your vote, you have that right. But if you cast your vote now, we could close it out. There's only 3 of you. There's only 20 of us. Just cast a vote. Get over with. So that's about it for tonight. Next Tuesday and Wednesday's shows. Next Tuesday and Wednesday's shows. Since our keepers lock date is on Sunday, I will be doing my post-draft breakdowns, or pre-draft breakdowns of your keepers and my predictions of where I think everybody's going to shake out in their divisions. So we'll be doing the Great White North and Elite East on Tuesday, and then breaking down the Dirty South and the Wild West on Wednesday. So, see you all next week. I'm going to post this. Gave you guys a lot to think about. Hit me up if you got any questions, concerns, what have you. Until then, good luck. Game on.